Mm. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing again? It's me again, Russell Mills, January 24th, 2022. I want to say hello. Just heard about the sad news of rock star singer, um, Meatloaf. His name was Michael Lee Aday. He was born Michael Lee Aday, September 27, 1947. So, and he died January 20th, 2022. So, I'm going to play this clip over here from CNN so you guys could watch this real quick.
Morning. Grammy Award-winning singer Meatloaf has died. According to his official Facebook page, he passed away with his wife Deborah at his side. No cause of death has been announced. His career spanned 6 decades. He sold more than 100 million albums and starred in more than 65 movies. CNN's Paul Verkaman looks back on his life and legacy.
Meatloaf performs sweet suburban melodies with dramatic flair, unleashing the lyrics of composer Jim Steinman.
I go out on the stage as if it's the last thing I'll ever do. I will, and that's what I've always said. If I'm going out, I'm going out on a stage.
Meatloaf, where did that name come from?
The real story is there is no story. The real story is that kids. I was about 8 years old. I've been called Meatloaf since I was about 8.
Meatloaf, or Meat for short, was born Michael Lee Aday in Dallas, Texas. But even Texas was not big enough to corral his talents. Meatloaf would go on to sell more than 80 million records worldwide. One of the top-selling musicians ever. His 3 Bat of the Hell albums became staples in college dorms. The first one selling 43 million copies.
Bat of the Hell one I was not ready for. I had a nervous breakdown. I went to psychologists and psychiatrists for 2 years. And I went with them to deal with the word star.
Meat got a hold of his demons. He starred on stage and screen, known for the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and Bob Paulson in Fight Club.
First rule is, I'm not supposed to talk about it. And the second rule is, I'm not supposed to talk about it. And the third rule is, I'm a member.
Off-screen, he married twice, became a father to 2 daughters. And Meatloaf entered reality TV, Donald Trump's Celebrity Apprentice. In an infamous episode, he blistered Gary Busey.
You look in my eyes, I am the last person in the world you ever want to with.
Such harsh yelling, a stark contrast to what launched Meatloaf to international adoration, that operatic voice.
All I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. No, I won't do that.
So there was a time, Casey, where we would listen to music on things called boomboxes, these, cassette players with big speakers, and I would have it on classic rock all summer long in my summer jobs. And I just remember, several times a day, they would play Paradise by the Dashboard Lights or Bat Out of Hell, and I would always love it. Just the songs are just, frankly, terrific.
They're iconic. I mean, what a life he had. Even, those of us around here who are a little too young to remember Meatloaf, I do remember him, but we've been working with some people who don't. They know the music. It's ubiquitous. It's been in our lives for so long. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and everyone who's missing him, and that's going to include all of us here. I will say the only chance I ever got to see Meatloaf perform live was at a Mitt Romney campaign event, of all places. But I remember it really sticks out in my mind as something that was really, really amazing to witness.
I'm sure that's something you will never, ever forget.
I will not.
Again, our thoughts with the family of Meatloaf this morning. Oh, Rocky Horror Picture Show, so good. Rocky Horror Picture Show. I remember staying up all night in the 70s. Go into those shows. I'm exaggerating a little bit. So good.
So yeah, I'm gonna play you guys a little bit more, something else that Gonna play you guys something else in a minute. Okay.
The love and support as we move through this time of grief and losing such an inspiring artist and beautiful man. From his heart to your souls, don't ever stop rocking. Meatloaf, whose real name was originally Marvin Leaday, which he later changed to Michael Leaday, was a successful musician and actor, arguably best known for his Bad Out of Hell album trilogy. Notably at the center of his success as a rock musician was his operatic singing voice. Many of his hit songs match early heavy metal-influenced guitars to musical theater-esque compositions, amounting to a signature rock and roll sound like few artists to come before or since. Meatloaf hit the rock star jackpot with his very first album, Bad Out of Hell, which came out in 1977 and yielded 5 singles, including 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad and Paradise by the Dashboard Light. The Bad Out of Hell album, in fact, is one of the best-selling albums of all time, ranking 33 on a list by Business Insider published in September 2021. Its sequel, Bad Out of Hell 2, Back into Hell, granted him his biggest hit in the chart-topping I'd Do Anything for Love, But I Won't Do That. On a subsequent tour for those albums, Meatloaf became known for his rowdy onstage antics on top of his music. Finally, in 2006, he wrapped up the trilogy with Bad Out of Hell 3, The Monster Is Loose. Apart from this 3-album opus, he released numerous other albums over the course of his career, like the concept album Hang Cool Teddy Bear in 2010. The artist was also a well-known actor, with over 100 acting credits to his name. His early career is arguably defined by his role as the greaser Eddie in the 1975 cult musical The Rocky Horror Picture Show. At a few points in the film, he lends his pipes to its iconic soundtrack, most notably on Hot Patootie, Bless My Soul. Meatloaf also portrayed Robert Paulson in 1999's Fight Club. Viewers familiar with the film will remember the subsequent invocation of his name as sort of a justification for the anarchic behavior of Project Mayhem group.
His name is Robert Paulson.
Other notable movies to feature a Meatloaf performance include Wayne's World, Spice World, and Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. While Deadline's reports asserts that a cause of death is not being released, they reference a claim by TMZ that Meatloaf died from complications resultant from a COVID-19 infection. According to TMZ, sources with knowledge told the outlet that, quote, he was supposed to attend a business dinner earlier this week for a show he's working on, I'd Do Anything for Love, but the dinner was canceled because he became seriously ill with COVID. Later, that condition quickly became critical. He then spent his final moments alongside his wife and 2 daughters, as recounted by his manager Michael Green. A wide variety of musicians paid tribute to Meatloaf on social media in the wake of his death, including generational pop artist Cher, rock singer Lenny Kravitz, country star Travis Tritt, Jack Black's comedy rock duo Tenacious D, and thrash metal titans Anthrax, among plenty of others. Actors to memorialize Meatloaf include Mistress of the Dark Elvira, Star Trek actor George Takei, and comic performer Thomas Lennon, the latter of whom recounted working alongside him on the pilot for the sketch comedy series The State. Judging by the varied backgrounds of each of these performers, Meatloaf's influence prior to his death, purportedly caused by COVID-19, was about as wide-ranging as could be. He is survived by his wife Deborah, as well as his daughters Pearl and Amanda. Our thoughts are with the artist's family and friends during their time of loss and grief.
So that's just more information about the singer Meatloaf that just passed away on January 20th. So sad to hear about that. I'm gonna play something else. So this is all for promotion. This is
Okay.
Meatloaf.
Hi, Meat here, and everybody seemed to enjoy the videos the other day, and you're going to see you saw the video before where my pants were too big and the jacket's too big, and that's from losing 77 pounds. And you know how when you're sick, you think you're the only person in the entire world that is suffering from the ailment you have? Well, I know now I'm not, because I went to a new surgeon and he had 50 clients in his office. So, and a lot of them, I mean, I was in pain, but I was going, oh God, I don't know what's wrong with him, but I'm glad I'm not him. So I still am in pain and probably will be back in surgery this week. And they've said Yeah, again, I should be out of pain in about 3.5 months. Well, we'll see. So now let's find out how you are. You okay? I know some of you aren't so well. And so my blessings to you. And I know because I wrote about my back and people write me back and go, yeah, I know what you're going through. I've had this back surgery and that back surgery. And so I know how you feel. And you know how I feel. And I had a, what's it called, dear? Something myelogram, which they stick needles in your spinal canal. Now that sounds gruesome, and that wasn't too horrible. It was the part that followed that was horrible, and that's where they twisted you, they tied you up in a knot like a rope, and that night I hurt so bad, not from the injections, from all the twisting. I got up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and walked around the house just trying to get loosened up. For a good hour. Anyway, I just wanted to say hi, and you might be a while before you hear from me again, because I think I'm going in the hospital for surgery, and I think I'll be in the hospital about 3 weeks, and then I'll see how I hold up to send you another video. All right, Meatloaf saying, good luck, see you later, and keep rocking. Hi, it's Meatloaf, and it's been a while since I've been here. I had been in a lot of pain, and had to go to the doctor. This is not the life of Riley, let me tell you. I get to go to bed, and I get to come and sit in this chair that I bought. How can I show you the chair to be able to sit in? But my back's gotten so bad that even the chair's starting to hurt. So I went, the insurance company denied my surgery, so I had to go take 3 more tests, which I gotta tell you, hurt like hell. And so they approved the surgery yesterday, and the surgery we will set up on Monday. It's either Thursday morning or Friday morning, and I'll be in the hospital about 3 weeks. And I'm hoping, oh please, that it works out, and I can get into rehab, and I'll be in London in July, and I'll be in Indiana in August for some signings, and then I'm shooting a movie in Arizona in September, and I'll go see the play while I'm in London, and so I'm looking forward to having a normal life as opposed to going to bed and sitting in my chair. And taking a shower is like, how can I explain taking a shower? It's like being beaten with sticks. And so, anyway, I'm here. I'm not in a horrible mood. I just can't remember anything. What did I just say? So anyway, listen, I want all of you just to keep rocking and stay healthy, because, listen, I want to rock, okay? I want to get back out there. And so I'm hoping by the end of this year, it's 3 surgeries at one time. 2 different surgeons are operating. They're cutting in my side, they're cutting in my back, and they're cutting in the nether region and getting in, because there's some real nerve damage in there, and they got to fix that. and they have to fix the plate, they have to add a plate, and they have to fix these little, I don't know, wicker baskets that are sitting in there. And anyway, enough of my problems. I'm sure you have your own. And I hope that your problems get better, because my wife keeps telling me, you're going to be great. We're going to be great. And so I can't wait. And anyway, I love you. And like I said, keep rocking, because that's what I want to do.
So you see him in this video where basically you can tell he's struggling, and you can look at his face, you can tell that that he wasn't well, obviously. And as he just said, about before he passed, he had surgeries, or going to have surgeries. Like I said, he was a man. I didn't know much about Meatloaf, so I'm not gonna pretend like, oh yeah, I know all this. But it's like his name was Michael. His name was originally, he was born Marvin Lee Adele, but he changed it to Michael Lee Adele, and he was born September 27, 1947, and he died January 20th, 2022. Known professionally as Meatloaf, was an American singer and actor who's noted for his powerful, wide-ranging vocals and lyrical live shows. He was on the list of best-selling music artists, as they said. His Bad Outta Hell trilogy, Bad Outta Hell in 1977, that was the year I was born. Bad Outta Hell 2, Back Into the Hell, 1993. And Bad Outta Hell the Third, The Monsters Loose in 2006 as the first, reported about that. And he has sold more than 65 million albums worldwide. The first album stayed on charts for over 9 years, still sells an estimate 200,000 copies annually, is on the list of best-selling albums, as they already mentioned. And so he died on January 20th, 2022, age 74, in Nashville, Tennessee. And it says after commercial success of Bad Outta Hell and Bad Outta Hell 2, Back Into Hell, earning a Grammy Award for Best Solo Rock Vocal Performance for the song I Do Anything for Love, as you guys heard. Adele nevertheless experienced some difficulties establishing a steady career with the United States. The key to this success was his popularity in Europe, especially in Great Britain and Ireland, with him receiving a 1994 Brit Award in the United Kingdom for best-selling album and single. He appeared in the 1997 film Spice World and ranked 23rd for the number of weeks spent on the UK charts in 2006. He also ranks 96 on VH1's 100 Greatest Artists of Hard Rock. So Adele appeared in over 50 films and television shows, as already was mentioned, sometimes as himself or as characters resembling his stage persona. His film roles include Eddie in The Rock in the Rocky Horror Picture Show 1975, Bob Paulson in Fight Club 1999. His early stage work included dual roles in the original Broadway theater cast of the Rocky Horror Show. He also appeared in the musical Here, both on and off Broadway. This is Adele died 2022 from complications of COVID-19, for what they said. Who knows? But yeah, I just wanted to make a video about it. I might read a little bit more. Like I said, I didn't know much about him. Since Adele was born in Dallas, Texas on September 27, 1947, as I already said, only child to Wilma Artie, a school teacher, a member of the Voodoo Girls Gospel Music Quartet, and Orvis Wesley Ade, a former police officer who went into business selling a homemade cough remedy with his wife and a friend under the name of Griffin Grocery Company. Regarding his birth, Meatloaf stated in an interview that he was bright red and stayed that way for days, that his father said he looked like a 9 pound of ground chuck. and that he was convinced hospital staff to put the name Meat on his crib. His father was an alcoholic. He would go drinking for days at a time, which started when he was medically discharged from the U.S. Army during World War II after being wounded by fragments from a mortar shell. Says Adele accompanied his mother in driving around all the bars in Dallas to look for his father and often stayed with his grandmother. This is in 2010 interview with NBC. Meatloaf described being in Dallas in 1963 and meeting U.S. President John F. Kennedy when he arrived at Dallas Love Field on November 22nd, 1963. Shortly after, while he and a friend were driving on the city streets, he heard about the assassination of John F. Kennedy and drove to the Parkland Hospital. This is a U.S. government official commanded their car to get to the hospital immediately, and Meatloaf was ordered to stay in the parking lot until officials returned. This is in 1965. Adele graduated from Thomas Jefferson High School, having appeared in school stage productions such as Where's Charlie and The Music Man. This is Adele played football at the position of defensive tackle as a member of the Rebels and earned the nickname ML, but when his weight increased, he was changed to Meatloaf. After attending college at Lubbock Christian University, transferred to North Texas State University, now the University of Texas. When Meatloaf was 19, his mother died from cancer, and his father allegedly tried to kill him with a knife after the funeral. He used the inheritance he received from his mother's death to rent an apartment in Dallas and isolate himself for 3.5 months until a friend found him. Short time later, he went to the airport and caught a flight to Los Angeles. So that's all I'm going to read. I'm not going to get too much in it because, again, it's a long list of accolades and personal life and stuff, all that stuff. But, I'm going to say rest in peace to Meatloaf and his family. So feel free to check out my YouTube channel, guys. Type in my name. It's Russell Mills, RUSSELL. MILLS, May 22nd, 2017. My first video was called Why Black People Settle for Less. So everybody, take care. God bless. Have a good day. Bye.